Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. Thanks for joining us. We're glad you're with us. Beautiful day as we begin taping in downtown Lancaster. Just school starting just in the recent weeks, and depending on where you are, last week, next week, someplace like that, everything getting underway with school. So it's that time of the year. Football right around the corner, so it's turning into fall here at Fairfield County. So we're I think as we look ahead, we're thinking of the fair, and coming up next week, we're going to have a new fair manager on, so we'll be glad to talk to her about that. But right now, we're going to talk about history. 78 years ago, a big day in Lancaster and Fairfield County. It was the first Millersport Sweetcorn Festival, 78 years ago, if you can imagine with that. And our guest today, Dan Booz of the Millersport Lions, Millersport Sweetcorn Festival. I'm going to say you weren't there.
No, I was not.
You were not there.
Not even close to being thought of.
Maybe your dad, wasn't he a Lion?
No, he is not.
You
no.
were the first one in your family, so. But he probably remembers when those events occurred. There are enough people around Millersport that 78 years isn't that old for a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's a remarkable record in this day and age when events come and go, and the way things change. We've got about a 10-minute attention span in the world, and so things change quickly. But something that has, I think, gotten bigger and gotten stronger is the Millersport Sweetcorn Festival. This is, and for one club, the Millersport Lions, to put that on, golly, kudos to all of you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Every year it's an undertaking.
It is. It really is. And we have a strong team of Millersport Lions, but we also have a strong support staff. I like to say between the Fairfield County Sheriff's Department, and we have some other church groups that we use that assist us during that time. So we have a very strong family, I like to say. So it takes a village, The
village of Millersport.
Yeah, it takes a village to put on this festival, and we're grateful for everybody.
Well, I mean, it's remarkable. 78 years, and it's coming up Wednesday through Sunday, the 27th through the 30th, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What are the hours?
So Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays from 5 until 11, Saturdays 11 to 11.
So plenty of time. And again, if there's any more family event, I don't know what it would be. This is certainly something that when you hit the grounds, there's something for everybody.
There is tons of food, ton of games, ton of entertainment for all ages. So we even have a very large midway that has over 20 rides, between kiddie rides and thrill-seeking rides. So we have plenty of fun for everyone, plenty of food.
When you think about 78 years of something as being as strong and so successful, even now, maybe again more successful than it was in past, I don't know, but it's always been successful. You think you folks can quantify, wonder why something like that has stood the test of time? Because festivals in some cases come and go. They have a beginning, they have an end, but it seems like Millersport just keeps going on. And any reason you think it's been so good?
Well, like I said, it has to do with big support between those who come every year to the festival. The village of Millersport has been a huge support. The mayor, the village council, the village administrator, the police department, the fire department. We have a lot of county administrators that make sure we have a very successful festival every year. So it takes a lot between obviously our vendors that are there, which is a lot of every single one is nonprofit. We are a nonprofit festival, and so that makes it a very successful festival. We in our corporate sponsors, we can't do a festival without them. So we are just blessed to have a great group of Millersport Lions and everybody that comes every year that comes to support. We always say, please know you're supporting nonprofit. And remember, you see in the yellow shirt that says official, we're volunteers. A lot of us are taking time away from work, taking vacation time and our families to put on this wonderful festival. So that's true meeting success right there.
And again, it's coming up Wednesday through Sunday, 27th through the 30th, and I would imagine that pretty close to after the 30th, the wheels are starting to turn for the next one. I'm sure that's how something as successful as this is.
Yes,
Close?
yes. As soon as the festival's over, I say we take almost a 2-week break, and then we begin planning next year's festival. So,
And I would imagine that, and again, 78 years, but a lot of you have done it for many years, and so it's not like starting from square one every year. I'm sure you do a meeting, say what went well this year, the pluses and minuses, and you look at your strengths, you look at maybe if you had any problems to talk about, and then you plan for the next year. Probably number one each year is probably the talent. Is that one of the first things that comes up every year? Who do we get?
Yeah, that's an early one we talk about. We want to try to land acts. We know we have a chance of getting first. So that's definitely a big one there, because a lot of stuff is always a returners. The
Sure.
midway and the grand prize drawing of $10,000. We know those are automatic.
You know where you're going to get to Sweetcorn.
Yes.
How many years you go through, you think?
Over 100,000 for 4 days.
That's a lot of butter, too.
That is very a lot of butter. Yeah.
I'm glad you're not at the Ohio State Fair. The butter cow would be in jeopardy up there.
Yes.
We need butter. We have to get butter.
Yeah.
But we just talked about talent, and let's kind of segue into that. You got some pretty big news. Now, each year, they always have great talent. So over Labor Day, it's always just a tremendous draw up there. But tell us who you have this year.
So this year on Friday night we have Exile. They begin at 8:30, and then Saturday we have the Oak Ridge Boys. All of our entertainment is free, so there's no charge to see these wonderful acts. Free admission. Charge $15 for parking. You could bring your own chair if you like.
I go say put out more chairs.
We do, yeah. We do provide quite a bit of chairs, but some people prefer their own, and that's fine.
I guess we have to talk about that for a second. The Oak Ridge Boys. I mean, in the world of, well, I guess could be gospel music, but certainly in the world of country music, they are royalty.
They are, and this is their farewell tour. They have announced they are retiring at the end of the year. So
I know, and I don't know his name. The one boy just passed away maybe last year now. So that gets to be. They've been around so long.
Yeah.
But golly, kudos to your group for bringing that in. That's if you need another draw to go there because it's such a great festival. But my golly, parking will be a premium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could bring we could say a van load of people for $15. That's a good deal. That's a good deal there.
Sure. And again, everything's free. Now, we already talked about the Sweetcorn. What other kind of food things you got going on? Probably everything, just like the fair.
Yes, we do still have the donuts from Lakewood Band Boosters.
I tell you, my friend who lives up in Millersport, as soon as you mention Millersport donuts, that's the first thing he thinks about.
Yeah, and we have the pork chop sandwich returning, as always. We have the ribeye burger that's coming back. And then there's pizza, shredded chicken, corn dogs, french fries, Bahama Mamas, chicken and noodles. There's chicken dinners, so hoagies. So there's plenty of food.
How big are your grounds there? How many acres does that?
We have over 70 acres.
70 acres. You use most of it probably.
We use most
for
of
that
it, yeah.
weekend.
Yes, we do.
That's it's just again, I'm knocked out, and we do lots of festivals. Baltimore just had one, Pleasantville just had one. Of course, these are little village festivals. We just had the Lancaster Festival go on, and we got the fair coming up. But in terms of numbers of people, what kind of numbers you usually talk about?
It really depends. I think it just depends on the day and the weather. Weather is our biggest enemy, I guess you could say, because if it's too hot, you may not see a huge crowd. And if it's been raining, we like to call liquid sunshine, but if it's been raining, nobody's going to come, and that's fortunate. But it just depends on everything. It just depends on the day and everything.
But man, when it's rolling up there, and if you'd have a day like this, and you've got the crowds you've got, it'll be something to behold. I mean, how many Lions Club members do you have in your club?
We have 115 roster.
And that sounds like a lot of people. until you have an event like this. And it takes everybody and probably all their spouses and in some cases their kids.
Yeah, we rely on every one of them, every 115. Sometimes we don't get all 115, but you know, we do hope we get all 115 to come help.
So it's this coming Wednesday through Saturday, 27th through the 30th. And I might mention too that again, you're a nonprofit. All that goes to that. What are some of the things you do with that money?
Well, a lot of the money.
Club?
The main thing the Lions do is we're the Knights of the Blind.
Always been for that.
Yes. So we're always about eyeglasses, eye exam, eye surgeries, pilot dogs to help those who guide dogs who help see. We support our athletic boosters, our academic boosters, Nationwide Children's Hospital, American Heart Association, and then sadly the recent tragedies that took place in Texas with severe flooding. We sent money down there to help those in need. So our money goes right back into the community, always does. And we get various requests to help somebody maybe in need, financial crisis of not being able to pay bills. So we take care of that.
Well, again, kudos to the Millersport Lions Club for a record performance over all these years for doing this, and to the Sweetcorn Festival Committee, which is, I'm sure, a subgroup of that. You guys do a great job Wednesday through Saturday, and it starts at 5 o'clock on Wednesday and it goes through 11 o'clock on Saturday. That's 5 to 11, 5 to 11, 11 to 11, 11 to
correct.
Okay. So it's all on their all on your website. You got a good website.
Sweetcornfest.com.
Sweetcornfest.com is a good website. They got all the information on there. I guess the only thing that, as you mentioned, the only thing after 78 years of doing this you can't control is the weather.
Yes.
I think Dave Smith, when I have him on to talk about the July 4th parade, they term it cloud control, liquid sunshine. You get somebody to do that. But gosh, I'm all excited. And again, the entertainment this year is
Exile and the Oak Ridge.
Now, Exile, are they kind of a local Columbus band?
No, they are nationally known.
Nationally known.
Yeah, they are nationally known. They got some great songs. They're more like a soft rock.
Okay.
So.
Got something for everybody again, as always. No charge to get in, but $15 a vehicle.
That's correct.
The parking. And pack up the car, pack up the band mom, bring them all in.
Right.
It's an exciting time, Wednesday the 27th through Saturday the 30th. The Millersport Sweetcorn Festival. Always great to have Dan Booz on, who talks about that. Best of luck. I'm sure it's going to be another knockout show. So congratulations to everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
Millersport Sweetcorn Festival. We'll be right back.
If you've been thinking about getting a home loan, now is the time. Hi, this is Carrie James from Fairfield Federal. Our experienced lenders are here to help you make your vision a reality. For more than 125 years, we've been helping our community achieve homeownership. Fairfield Federal has convenient online application for your home loan, home equity loan, and home equity line of credit needs. Visit fairfieldfederal.com to get started. Fairfield Federal for checking, savings, and home loans. Data charges may apply, subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402612.
Fairfield Medical Center is more than a hospital. We're a health system that's been putting people first for more than a century. From the youngest patients to the eldest, our compassionate team of caregivers are here to support you through every season of life. We are healers, cheerleaders, patient advocates, and champions. Your health is our greatest accomplishment, and we are proud to serve you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
Did you know Fairfield DD provides coordination for over 1,200 people in Fairfield County? That's 1,200 unique journeys, each filled with talents, dreams, and challenges. And while no two paths are the same, one thing is true for everyone. Life is easier when you have the right support. That's why we're here. From early childhood milestones to school transitions, employment, and adulthood, Fairfield DD connects individuals and families with the resources they need every step of the way. When the right support is available, a vibrant community where people lead lives of greater independence and make meaningful contributions becomes possible. Learn more at fairfielddd.com and check us out on social media. Together, we're building a more inclusive Fairfield County.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster, and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you. Sure want to thank Dan Booz for coming in, talking about the 78th edition of the Millersport Sweetcorn Festival. One of the, again, great things coming up later this week. It's going to be pretty exciting. And it's a time of, I guess we can talk about anniversaries, because as we say with the Sweetcorn Festival, this will be their 78th. Not quite as many as the guests we'll be talking to today. This is their 10th year of doing the Lancaster Playhouse, and they've done great things in this 10 years. They've come a long way, baby, as they say in the business. And we've got the ladies here that can talk about it today. On my far right is Jane O'Brien, board member, do a little bit of everything.
Board chair, Paul. I'm the board chair.
And I was going to say board chair, and do a little bit of everything, and been on many times on the show. And Jennifer Myers, who is on a producer of the show this year, and in the show, double duty. I mean, that's the kind of work that they do at the Lancaster Playhouse.
It's hard work.
But somebody's got to do it, and apparently it's you. Jane, 10 years. Who did ever thunk it 10 years ago? And I mean, this is you living your best life in terms of doing plays is where this has come, the Lancaster Playhouse. They've come a long way.
It's wonderful. We're in our 10th anniversary season. We dedicated this season in memory of Rosemary Hajost, who was one of our founding members. Rosemary cast me in my first show, so
right?
She's always been special. I didn't live here 10 years ago when the Playhouse started. I've only been here about 8 or 9 years, but yes, we're going strong. I think we're in a good place.
Well, I think we'll just mention her before we get on your show, Gypsy, you've got coming up here. Rosemary was just a very special lady in this community. I don't have to explain that to you. I'm preaching to the choir here. But in terms of anything she got involved in, and certainly one of her projects that she thought the world of was the Lancaster Playhouse. And she loved that. She loved being involved in it. She loved doing what she was doing with it. And that's somebody that... when you use her name in connection with your club, that says a lot.
Yes. So true.
She's
so true.
She's will be a loss in the community. Len left a few years ago, and now Rosemary is gone, but they'll leave a hole because people like that are
and
rare.
Lives on, and lives on in so many ways for our lives.
Always remember the Hajos, and again, you've got special memories of and lots of things far beyond that, but that very special memory. So we've got one coming up here. And again, Lancaster Playhouse does it up big. They're going to be at the Wagner Theater out at OU, the big one, the show that Victor runs out there. And it's Gypsy. And it's September 6th through the 14th. And golly, we got show times. It's a Saturday, Sunday, and then a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Correct.
You get to do this more than once then.
Yeah.
Do you like doing that more than once or more than twice?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of work. You want to be able to do it a few times.
Yeah,
and,
well, this is your year then.
yeah,
You
and
get to do
share
that.
it, yeah.
So Saturday the 6th, it's at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday, the matinee, is at 2 o'clock. And then the next weekend, which is 12, 13, and 14, Fridays at 7, Saturdays at 7, Sundays at 2 o'clock, and another matinee. So, Jane, you guys going all out for this, huh?
Yes, we are.
Going to give Gypsy to the community.
Yes, we are. We're super excited about it. I mean, the best thing, Paul, is there's a few familiar faces, I think, but for the most part, I would say this cast drew from the greater Columbus area.
Really?
So you're going to get to see some new faces on stage.
That's
and
always exciting.
incredible talent.
Oh, that's always exciting to have that.
Starting with our Mama Rose, who is sitting next to me right here.
I mean, this has to be just so cool to do this, huh?
Yeah, it's great exposure for the Lancaster Playhouse and the Lancaster community. Was really part of the plan. 10 years ago, I was with Rosemary, Lauren Peterson, and Ken Culver as the 4 founding members.
Legendary names.
Yeah, of the Lancaster Playhouse. And Rosemary was an intricate part of my life, supporter for the years that I've done theater. And it was a show that she knew I wanted to do and supported wholeheartedly for us to do. And set it up for me to be able to pitch the idea to Lancaster Playhouse. And it was really in celebration of 10 years and what they do, bringing the arts into the community of Lancaster. We're fortunate here in Lancaster. I grew up in Lancaster, went to Lancaster High School. My mother's still living here in Lancaster. My first show was at Lancaster High School. So years of a lot of history. And it allowed us this opportunity to bring Gypsy. So kudos to the Lancaster Playhouse and Jane and the board for agreeing to take this on. And so we're really excited to now be able to present it to the community. And when I remember that Rosemary, one of the last times I saw Rosemary was that she knew that we had obtained the rights, so we're going to obtain the rights for Gypsy. So she knew it was going to happen. And it's one of the greatest American musicals, if not the greatest American musical out there. It just closed on Broadway with Audra McDonald to rave reviews. And so we're excited. There isn't a better musical out there to bring, and the music is so fantastic. We're lucky to be able to do it at the Wagner Theater. They're our show sponsor and allowed us to rent that facility and put our show on there. And so kudos to them for that partnership with us. And we're just really excited. We open in, 20 days?
I'm not thinking about it. We're not talking about it.
Don't panic over it. You've got time.
Well, the exciting thing is being in the Wagner Theater and allowed us to have a live orchestra. And John McLean is our musical director.
And royalty.
Yes, and Gretchen Weber is his assistant. And we're going to have a live orchestra for a show, which we couldn't have done in our regular space at Maria's. There just wasn't room. So it's wonderful. It's a great opportunity.
This is really coming up big time here.
Yeah, we're excited. It's directed by Chris Gallagher, who has done a lot of shows at Pickerington Community Theater
and other places.
So we're lucky for that, and it's just been it's a great team. You know, it takes a big village to put something like this on, and a lot of hours of hard work. It's not just the people on stage, it's the people behind the stage. This woman right here.
Well, boy, am I learning how much has to happen backstage. I'm like, I'd rather learn lines and be on stage than have to, but
probably a lot easier to
just the costumes. I mean, we should get a shot of my foyer right now.
Is that right?
I have 4 racks of clothes in the foyer. My husband's like, if there's a fire, we can't get out. And that's just the costumes that are completed, and there's more still coming.
How many cast members do you think?
25?
Yeah.
I think 25.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just started working on the program, so I have about 25.
Yeah.
Well,
and they range from 8, I think.
I think the youngest is 8
to,
all the way to 70
over
years
70.
old. Yeah.
I'd say over 70. Yeah.
So again, it's a great community production, and you can't shout out enough about the arts and the importance of live theater and arts, and again, how lucky Lancaster is for a very robust live arts presence. And
I talk about that, and I'm sure I've talked about it with Jane, and I talk about it when I have Victor on or the Garrett players. And the same thing, there was a time, maybe when you graduated from Lancaster High School, that you were on stage at school, and that was your play. Good for you. And then if you went to college and you did it, you got to do some more. But then that was about it. I remember we had the Kennedy players up, that was the one. But there was nothing more. But now, like I say, we have OU. Victor does such good stuff. You folks, the Garrett players. And in terms of singing, we have
theaters,
so many.
Rise Up Alliance.
Yeah. And Judith does great work there.
We're lucky.
So many people around in Baltimore and Millersport and others have things going on. So now if this is what you want to pursue, you can be from Lancaster and still do that.
It's so true. It's really what it was all about and why it was founded. When we founded Lancaster Playhouse, really Lauren Peterson was at the helm of it. There wasn't any local, straight community theater, small, doing that type of thing, community theater. And so that's kind of where it began. So, and then off we went, right? And they have consistently, they've got this, Lancaster Playhouse has this built-in, very loyal fan base, if you will.
Yes, we do.
Every production. So it's really a great story of how people want that in their lives, and a great hobby, a great escape from day-to-day work. And we love it, so we're blessed for sure.
Jennifer Myers and Jane O'Brien from Gypsy with the Lancaster Playhouse. Now, Shane will put up the picture of the poster. We've got a QR code on there. You guys are on top of it, typical of that. Electronically, you can order tickets off the QR code, and you can also go to LancasterPlayhouse.org.
The Lancaster
LancasterPlayhouse.org is where you can get them online right there. Limited seating out there. It's a big place, but and again, it's 5 shows, 2 weekends. It's amazing, and it's exciting to just see in 10 years. You've gone from the very early days of just how do we get the grassroots, how do we put this together, to now a loyal fan base, people coming in, auditioning, trying out from certainly in the area surrounding Lancaster, and now you're at the Wagner Theater. You kind of come full circle here in 10 years.
Yeah. It's a special show.
It is a special show.
Yeah. So
we will not be doing something this big every year, Paul.
But this is the year.
This is the year.
This is the 10th
you got to go all in
anniversary
every
of the
once in a while.
Yeah,
and
10
again,
years.
we think about Rosemary in these times, and you also mentioned Lauren Peterson and Kenny Culver. I mean, these are people that are just legendary in the arts and doing things for the community.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
know they all pay forward. These are all
Yes.
Rosemary. We know that with Rosemary and Kenny. That's how they work it.
The legacy is so rich.
It's the Gypsy, the play Gypsy, the greatest, you heard it here, the greatest musical out there. It's at the Wagner Theater, and it's September 6th through the 14th. Exciting time. Best of luck as you produce and do this, and best of luck backstage that you don't have a seizure or something happens. I know it's going to be a fun time out there, but a lot of cast members, a great place to do. I'm sure Victor is a huge help. So best of luck on all this. We're looking forward to just 10 more years of excitement here. Congratulations on all you got going on. Gypsy with the Lancaster Playhouse.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us at Fairfield today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.